Good afternoon, or what is a warm, bright and sunny day. It is Wednesday, the 26th of April. I've got a nice hot cup of tea. And a parcel to unbox. So, nice and simple. Strip that off. And then it comes away nice and easy. Can't see what's in there, but it's been securely wrapped. But I do know it's from D101 Games. And inside I have a copy of SimpleQuest. SimpleQuest is a concise and straightforward D100 system, easy to play yet filled with all the tense excitement and storytelling potential associated with percentile systems. The book contains the following chapters. Characters use either points allocation or random system to generate characters who will be motivated or capable of going on fantastic and thrilling adventures. Equipment. This chapter deals with the tools of adventuring, trade, weapons, armour and general gear such as rope, backpacks and transport costs. Rules. In this chapter, the system's workhorse, the D100 skill test. It is explained in both its basic and opposed versions. There's also a selection of spot rules for common adventuring situations. Combat. This subset of the rules looks at what's happening when blades are drawn and used in anger. Magic. This chapter details a simple magic system, or a single magic system that every player character uses. Creatures, monsters, animals, and to populate your adventures. There's a bit of a word missing there. Gods and goddesses to use either as patrons or religions to join. And this has been made with OpenQuest, and OpenQuest is ultimately a stripped down to SRD kind of version of the basic roleplay system. We open up and we've got quite a piece of vibrant art of what looks to be like an ogre or a troll or something. It's signed by Newt. Introduction. So essentially, SimpleQuest is a cut down and a concise version of OpenQuest, also published by D101 Games. So if you're looking for a simpler version of OpenQuest, this is it. Literally SimpleQuest. And what you'll need is a set of polyhedral dice, paper, time, some friends, and imagination. Talking about character, and so we talk about you've got the standard attributes: strength, constitution, dexterity, size, intelligence, power, and charisma, and they're based on a percentile scale. They're on a 3 to 16. It looks like they're a percentile scale from that table. I'm misreading the table. Talk about the skills and skill lists, and skills are really down to that we have resistances, combat skills. Combat skills are close combat, range combat, unarmed combat. We've got simple page and knowledge skills, practical skills on here, and then magic skills. And it's talking about magic, fortune points. Fortune points essentially are, hero points, the equivalent thereof, luck points, re-roll a failed die roll, flip the existing dice result for failed test, avoid character death, regain a spell, and so on. Character generation, you've got options for human, beastling, duck, dwarf, and elf as player character species, or races, if you will. Cash and equipment, finish off the character. Then we've got notes about character focus. Essentially, what is your character's primary motivation? And character focus is, and what he does. See, you're looking at warrior, expert, magician, and there's just the three. Keeps it nice and simple. And then character growth, and then that's quite simple. Explains the character creation, in less than 20 pages before on to quick equipment. I have to admit, sort of like the yellow and white is kind of a little bit garish and jars the eyes. I think, you know, it is. But there we go. And then turn the page, we're on to the rules. And, you know, the rules themselves are essentially roll a percentile dice, and, you know, if it rolls under, it's a success. That's it, really. We've got rules in here for if the outcome is hazardous, failing forward, you know, failure of a basic skill test should never stop the character from progressing through the adventure. There should always be options and possibilities, even when the character fails the test. So, you know, yes, or, you know, no, but sort of situation. You've also got rules for fumbling, and even the option for fumbling forward. Setting difficulties. Difficulty table. How to handle opposed skill tests. And assistance. Spot rules like cover breaking objects, burning, diseases, exposure, starvation, thirst, encumbrance, and all this is optional to a certain extent, fatigue and so on. But you know, it's up to you how complex you want your SimpleQuest game to be. So we've all, you know, there's rules in there for poison and illumination, and you know, all the typical kind of things you worry about when you are out adventuring. And then we get to combat. And we've got combat actions include casting spells, changing stances, close combat attack, disarming attacks, and ranged combat attack. That sort of thing. Options. We have rules for taking damage, minor wounds, mortal wounds, and so on, and then combat results. You know, it could be failure, success, basically, and then options for unarmed and ranged combat, the effects of critical hits, and also fumbles. Special combat rules cover mounted combat, shield use. So you get a bit cinematic there. You know, you can use shield use to parry close combat attacks, but also to use an attack, use them against ranged attacks, so on. And then we're on to magic. And casting spells, essentially, you know, they're using the magic casting spell, cast skill, and then we have a list of spell traits and a list of all the spells themselves. And then we get to the list of different spells. And there'll be some quite here that will be familiar, like Befuddle, Counter Magic, and others. But you can turn people berserk. Back eyes grants the recipient spells, eyes in the backs of their heads. Demoralize. Fireblade. Ignite and glue. All these, you know, are all derived from the same kind of sources. But we've got things like quicksand, restore energy, resurrect, sap energy, scare. And then after all the spells, we have creatures, including their loot factor, because you know they've always got treasure, including possibly magical items, and we get into the creature list. So basilisk, centaur, dragon, elementals, ghouls and giants. So generally classic fantasy monsters you would find in you know, role-playing fantasy. Minotaur, the Mummy. In fact, I think they're possibly, you know, I don't know what that's. I'm still not sure what that is. I was thinking it might be a Minotaur, but I could be wrong. Lizard men, decent artwork in here as well, so it's slightly cartoony, but that's fine. It's a troll. It's a troll. And then we've got animal lists, and that's actually kept fairly simple, just a straightforward page or two of creatures, gods and goddesses. You know, so you can become a you know, you like RuneQuest sort of thing. You can be a lay worshipper, become an initiate, become a priest, gain patronage. So we've got the broader sort of treatment of gods. We've got death god, healer god, earth mother, the hunter, the lord of war, merchant, the night mistress, and the moon hag, lord of all knowledge, the sea goddess. So quite broad archetypes when it comes to your gods. Sky Lord, Sun King, the trickster, and that's represented by a leprechaun there, almost a bit of a cliche there. And then we have an appendix of life events. So your player character can have something interesting happen to them as a backstory. And then this is what a character sheet looks like. I have a short adventure, The Well. With a nice little map by Dyson Logos, that you can play through just to give a quick test of the system. But it's serviceable enough, I think. Nice little rule book. Anyone who's played RuneQuest or basic roleplay will pick this up with ease, or anybody who's obviously played OpenQuest will go, okay, I get this. It's that simple. Anyway, so that's D101 Games SimpleQuest. It's new fantasy role-playing game. Anyway, thanks for watching another unboxing in the Nook. If you enjoyed this, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings in the Nook, where you will see me out here with a parcel containing a book or game which I'll unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea, then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. Be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.